Hey guys, Big Rat 310s here again. Sitting back in my chair. I was gonna make this an audio video, but I feel you guys kind of needed to see my face. Here it is. No. I feel when I make videos like these, I feel it's more important to be in front of the camera. Fucking midterms like crazy. I've been all kinds of busy. I have my textbook right here, my notebook right here. And it's very hard. I'm not gonna lie. I've gotten like 7 hours of sleep in 3 days. So I'm pretty out of it right now. Very tired. I'm not gonna get any sleep tonight either. It's already 2 in the morning, and I'm not gonna have enough time to finish this and catch. There might not even be actually enough time for me to study, even with no sleep. That's nice. But anyways, enough about my personal life. I have 2 days left. Tomorrow and Thursday, and then boom, I'm free for like 3 weeks, so I can be patient. Final Battle. Final Battle's coming this coming week. I do agree with what Instant Classic 8 has been saying. This does have potential to be not only the show of the year, one of the best Ring of Honor shows, no, one of the best shows in wrestling history. I think that, like, when people want to look, what were the top 5 best show? What were the top 10 best shows of this past decade? I think this show would be assorted in that bunch, from American wrestling at least. I mean, we had from American wrestling. I mean, we had Mania, and then we had 4 Ring of Honor shows. In my opinion, I don't think any of the show from any of the company kind of reaches that upper echelon, and I do think that this show has potential to do that. Now, with that said, I do understand that some people I've heard some people going over this card, and they've all been saying, none of these matches really look like they're going to be the match of the year. And I'll agree. They don't really have like a match of the year candidate, even though I think there's going to be quite a few on this show. I don't think there's going to be like this near 5-star match that we have to see. Well, depending on how good the Steen Generico match is. It has all the build, heat, and everything it needs to do it. All it needs is the actual match quality, but I don't think that they'll do that, and I'll tell you why later. But anyways, this show has just so many matches that can be great. So many matches that, in fact, there's really, of the matches on the show that I think are going to be less than really good, there is one, and it's a women's match. I think this one match will be good, but I have no faith in the women's division on the independent scene anymore. I'm sorry. I put all my faith into Chikara Surge Rex, was let down. I put all my faith into Salvation, massively let down. I hated that match. I put all my faith into Super Card of Honor. I know some people did really like that match. I think that match is really overrated between Kong and Del Rey. It didn't do much for me, but I can understand it did much for you. And for so many other matches, I've seen quite a few as well. In Evolve too, with Kong coming to Evolve. I get so excited. I know the main factor here is Awesome Kong, but I get so excited when we see like these indie women dream matches in non-Shimmer companies, and I'm always let down. So excuse me if I'm not getting really excited for this one. I know Serena's been working on the independent scene, and it's not like she wrestled very aggressively in the WWE. But whenever someone leaves the WWE or TNA, we're seeing this with fucking Homicide right now. And with Daniels too, we saw it for the first few months. Whenever anybody leaves those two companies, they still are adjusted to their style. They haven't really adjusted to the new indie style yet, and I think Homicide still hasn't, and that's one of his big problems. But Serena, I know she didn't really wrestle a lot in WWE. She still came from like a different system, and I just don't know. I just don't trust how well she could adjust. Although I'm really looking forward to seeing her wrestle, because honestly, I haven't seen much. I've seen like 2 matches. From what I've heard, she's amazing. And Del Rey, Haze, they always deliver. You see, when in Chikara, when the women fight the men, those matches are really good. When the women fight the women, it's boring. But anyways, and Kong, like I said, I just can't get excited for Kong anymore. I love Kong. I always have. Kong is one of the main reasons I came back to TNA, actually. Surprisingly, I don't know if you guys noticed, in 2007 I left TNA. I was fed up with this. I've told this story before. In 2008, I came back just to, check up on them. You're like, what have I missed? And I see this humongous woman fighting Gail Kim. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, I didn't even know anything about her, but that's an attraction. Maybe the Kurt Angle Christian feud I also really liked, which is why I think that feud is really underrated. But, like, when you see someone like that who you've never seen before, you're kind of intrigued. You kind of want to know more. And I just wanted to think, what is this Kong woman all about? And then I saw her matches with Gail, and I really like them. And then, you know, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll give TNA a good chance. And in my opinion, 2008 was TNA's best year since 2005. As far as wrestling goes, because they put on a lot of great shows in 2008. I thought it was better than 2006. That's how good I thought it was. Now, the booking was still fucking god-awful, atrocious, but they did put on a lot of great shows. I loved Bound for Glory that year. A lot of people love Lockdown that year. I didn't, but hey, that's just me. Against All Odds that year, I thought was really good. Freaking Turning Point in November. That was a great show. Where Sting fought AJ and where Kurt Angle fought Abyss, and Abyss's best match possibly ever. But that Abyss Sabu match I like too. But anyways, they put on a lot of great shows that year. Victory Road, Hard Justice, a lot of great shows that year, and I really liked them that year. And Kong was also a big part of that. They were different from WWE in that sense. They were in a lot of ways not different from the WWE. But the one thing I could always say was, you know what? They have these girls. WWE does not have these girls. These girls are better. And now really Kong, I don't mean to turn this into a Kong rant. I really just can't get excited about Kong anymore, unfortunately. I used to love Kong too, with everything in my being. I can't get excited for her. So I'm just like, you know, I think the match will be all right. I think it'll be fine. I hope it's good. I believe it has all the potential. That's what I'm saying. It has the potential to be good, but I'm not going to get excited because whenever I get excited, I get let down again. So you know what? No. I'm not going to be the abusive wife that just keeps coming back. Take that for what it is. But let's go on to the rest of the show. I don't mean to put down that match. That match could be a really good match. It has the potential to. I'm just not going to get excited. So I understand if you're all excited for this. And I will say this. This match, I guarantee, will be better than any WWE or TNA Women's match this year. Even better than the Tara Mickey match at Turning Point. I have not seen their cage match yet. I heard it was really, really good. I'll get to watching it, but I'm kind of fucking busy with school right now. It does have the potential. So if you're tired of seeing all this shit in WWE and TNA, this bullshit with the women's division, you have to give this a chance. I understand WSU had a pay-per-view, and while I was thinking about getting it, when people don't trust women's wrestling at all, and they have no reason to trust it based on the way WWE and TNA work, why should they just like delve into this promotion, which they've never seen before, and assume that will be good? Ring of Honor, PWG Chicago, they're different. People don't have to assume because they get so much like widespread notoriety for being different, for having that indie style that people like, that will appeal to people if they don't like WWE and TNA. If they don't like what's going on there, they will like what's here. Well, obviously it's not for everyone, but don't twist my words around. But I can understand it. For Shimmer, you know, no one's really raving about Shimmer. You know what I mean? No one's really raving about WSU. You have to see this match. Not really. There isn't really like any of that out there. So why should people with not much to go on put their faith into a women's wrestling promotion? Whereas here, and I'm not saying WSU is bad, I'm not saying Shimmer's bad. I've never seen WSU actually in my life, so I'm not going to be the judge. Here, you can do that. You can put your trust in the Ring of Honor. I'll get to why you can put your trust in the Ring of Honor later. That's obvious. And, you know, here's your women's match to test you. Hey, check this out on the side. I know you're this paper. Look at this. If you like this, then it's better than she's seen WTNA. Colt Cabana versus TJ Perkins. I called this match. I freaking called this match 2 weeks before it happened. And no one knew what I was saying. They're like, what are you talking about? Why would TJ Perkins read his interviews? A lot of people don't read the interviews on Ring of Honor's website. You have to read them. They're important. I'm really looking forward to this for TJ Perkins. For those of you who don't know, he's very good in the ring. He wrestles more of he's a very technically sound wrestler. And I'm not going to say he wrestles MMA because he doesn't. He doesn't throw MMA into his matches, but it is very relevant in a way. I believe he, besides Danielson, competed in the shoot style tournament at what's it called? WXW Ambition. I think it was WXW. I don't know. He and his match with Mooney Sara was a lot like that as well. It felt if any match would feel like a shoot match, then yeah. But like I'm not saying he's a shoot wrestler because he isn't. He wrestles, but he's very technically sound, very technically proficient. I was actually very surprised that Jameson didn't fight him at Evolve 5. I thought that definitely was the right move, but I guess, I don't know, TJ Perkins kind of... did he have a falling out with Gabe? I don't know. He was completely booked off the Evolve and Dragon Gate shows. But I do think this will be a really good match. Colt Cabana, have you seen any Colt Cabana match from like 2005, 2006? Like, not excluding his matches with Homicide. He was a very technically sound worker. Very, like, you know... like wrist clutches and all this and that, very technically sound. And I think he and Perkins are just going to have this really, really fun mat wrestling match. And I'm not trying to put it that they'll just stay on the mat. They'll do other things, obviously. I'm just saying that's why it's called the Scientific Showdown, and I think it'll be. I honestly think this match is gonna be really good. I'm really looking forward to it. All Night Express versus O'Reilly and Adam Cole. Adam Cole, I'm a big fan of. O'Reilly, I've been praising this guy since May of last year when no one knew who the hell he was, and I think he's really, really talented. And I really do think that he and Cole are good. They're going to do something special with the All Night Express. The All Night Express, I'm also a big fan of. And this is going to be a really fun tag team match. If you're sick of the bullshit of tag team wrestling that's in the WWE, trust me, this will blow your minds away. Now, I understand that TNA has the Guns and Beer Money and the Young Bucks, but I'm just letting you know that you're going to see fine tag team wrestling here. And I think this match is going to be really good. All four of these guys are the future of Ring of Honor. I don't call them the future of Ring of Honor. The future Ring of Honor match is coming up. Eddie Edwards, Kenny Omega. I don't see Rhett Titus being Ring of Honor champion in 2011. I can see Rhett Titus being Ring of Honor champion in 2013, 2014. If Ring of Honor is still around, if Rhett Titus continues to develop at the rate that he has. Same with maybe King will be a little sooner if they want to give him the belt. I'm just letting you know that these guys are the future of Ring of Honor, as I like to call them. Like a guy like O'Reilly, trained by Davey Richards, by the way. So yeah, if you guys trust Davey Richards, you can trust Kyle O'Reilly. This is gonna be a really fun match. Let's see. First time. Let's get to the match now. Eddie Edwards versus Omega. I do agree with Instant Classic. How is no one praising this match? This match I truly think is going to be awesome. I think it's going to be better than Kenny Omega's match with Christopher Daniels, and I think it could even I really think this match is going to be I don't want to sound like too much of a smart bitch and throw ratings in here. I think this could be a 4 1/4, 4.5 star match. I really do. I mean, that's how talented both these guys are. So excited to see Kenny Omega back in Ring of Honor. For those who've never heard of Kenny Omega, I will say this right now. In my opinion, a lot of people do disagree with me, but I truly believe this is the ranking system in Ring of Honor. I think the best wrestler in Ring of Honor is Davey Richards. And I think the second best wrestler in Ring of Honor is Kenny Omega. Oh, I wouldn't say in Ring of Honor because he doesn't wrestle regularly anymore. But I still consider him part of the roster. So I'm going to say Kenny Omega, second best wrestler in Ring of Honor. Yeah, faux show. Better than Roderick, better than Eddie, better than Daniels. Hell yeah. Better than a lot of people. And the only person that comes close to Kenny besides Davey, who's ahead of him, is El Generico, in my opinion, who I think is the third best wrestler in Ring of Honor. And so I think this match is just going to be really, really, really something special. Kenny Omega is just awesome. He's so much fun to watch. Eddie Edwards, I love Eddie. I've always loved Eddie. And people are really praising Eddie Edwards. Jerry Lynn, in a recent interview on Figure 4 Wrestling, on Wrestling Observer /Figure4Wrestling.com, I guess, he said that the one guy that he saw with the most potential and has improved the most and could be the future of Ring of Honor was Eddie Edwards. Almost all wrestling fans will tell you that Eddie Edwards is almost anybody, every person I've spoken to, whether it be fans, whether it be wrestlers, whether it be through Forum Spring, obviously, not that I called them or anything like that, or analyst or journalist, almost everybody unanimously agrees that Eddie Edwards is the future and the most talented young prospect on their show, the most talented non-main eventer on their show. He has all the ability and all the potential, and when they took the TV title off him, I was so happy because that means he's off for bigger and better things. And we'll get to that later. So yeah, Eddie Edwards is by far, he's done so much, and Kenny Omega, like I said, he's awesome. So this match is gonna be something special. The 6-man tag grudge. All right, when this match first came out, I protested because I've been complaining that the Kings of Wrestling do not defend the tag titles when it counts. They'll defend them on HDNet. They've had 3 title defenses on HDNet. That's kind of sad. They've had title defenses on house shows, but at Glory by Honor and on this pay-per-view as well, titles are not defended. And I've always complained they don't defend the titles enough. They've improved. They defended against Steen and Carino, and I believe they defended against Cabana and Generico. But that was this was after I made the video. They defended against Cabana and Generico, and they defended against Steen and Carino, and then the 3 HDNet matches. So that was 5. 5 to my original count of 4, which was, let's see, the Briscoes twice, the Davey Richards and Christopher Daniels on Allied Forces, and I forget the 4th one. But they never have serious tag title defenses. I'm glad that they're defending it more. And I was really mad when this was first announced. This match really pissed me off. And also the match just didn't look appealing on paper. I'm tired of the Briscoes Kings of Wrestling. I'm sorry. I mean, I've just seen it too much. I mean, I've seen Kevin Steen and El Generico for a year, but they've progressed the feud in such ways that's incredible. And just for Kings of Wrestling, the Briscoes, it's this one thing. Chris elbowed Jay's father. Fuck. And they built an entire year-long feud on that. And like they have had no further checking points in the angles along the way. Like in the Steen Generico feud, there were so many things done along the way of this angle. He turned on him. He took off his mask. El Generico didn't want to fight him at first. El Generico then decided to fight him because he thought it was necessary. They took out Cabana. Then they they took out Carino. There were so many checking points. It's just, this feud is just one straight line, and it really has been bothering me. But with my rant against this match said, I'm really looking forward to this match. They have built this match beautifully on HT9, in my opinion. So many fun things to watch, and I'm really excited to see Papa Briscoe get in the ring. That would be interesting. And I do think people are throwing away this match. You're like, oh, okay, this match will be one of the worst matches. I think this match is going to be really, really good. I think, the comedy of it with Shane Hagadorn getting his ass kicked. But besides that, it has been built well, and you do have 4 quality talents in this match to truly make this match something special. I really do think this match is going to be a really, really good match. I think it's going to be something memorable. I don't think it's just going to be a garbage 6-man tag that means nothing. I do think this match will be something. So yeah, Christopher Daniels versus Homicide. I know I just had my little thing against Homicide. Every time Homicide wrestles, though, I'm still really looking forward to the match, and I still do. I still love Homicide. I've loved Homicide for a very long time. His match against Necro Butcher, I thought was Necro Butcher's best match of the year, by far. And I do love his style. I guess that's why I do love the way he wrestles in the ring a lot. So his match with Eddie Kingston, yeah, it was kind of disappointing. His match with Kenny King, I didn't expect much out of it to begin with, so I wasn't that upset. His match with Jay Briscoe, I heard, was really, really good. He's a great wrestler. I just think he still needs to adopt to the indie style. And I do think this will be his turnaround match. I will say Christopher Daniels has adjusted to the indie style by this point. I don't think he was back in May or April. I think he is now by this point. And I think now Homicide's gonna learn it too. And I think these guys are gonna have a really, really good match. Like I said, another really, really good match. And I really do think this match has all the potential to be great. I really do think this match is going to be better than Daniels versus Austin Aries. And it could be, I honestly think this is going to be a great match. I think these guys are too experienced and too good for it not to be great, in a sense, and especially in an ROH ring. Now, again, I got my hopes up a lot for Christopher Daniels and Austin Aries, and I was heavily let down. So I'm not going to get my hopes up for this that much, but I do really think, I can't help but get my hopes up. I do think this is going to be a great match. Something to check out. Next we got the big two. Both of these matches, I think, are going to be incredible. And I think both these matches have the potential to be Match of the Year candidates if the circumstances are right. I mean, a lot of people look at the card and they're not sure if there's going to be any Match of the Year candidates. I think both of these could be. Kevin Steen versus El Generico. What more is to be said about this? The feud of the year, not the angle of the year. I call it the feud of the year, if that makes any sense. I consider feud actual physical intensity between two personalities that's resolved through a series of programs and matches. And while the BDK angle has intensity and has feuds between two people, a feud in the BDK, I would say, is Eddie Kingston versus Claudio Castagnoli. I don't consider that a feud. But I think the whole BDK takeover of Chikara, I consider that an angle. The BDK takeover of Chikara. And when I vote for the Wrestling Observer's feud of the year, I don't know if I can just write Chikara versus... I probably will write Chikara versus BDK. But I think this is the most vicious... I haven't seen a feud with more intensity like this in a very, very long time. The programs have been incredible. Some people are saying this is the best feud in Ring of Honor history. Ring of Honor history! Yeah. Oh, yeah. They think this... Oh, yeah. And they think this match is going to be... I think this match is going to be incredible. I'm not going to lie. Now, people want this match to main event. Here's my problem with that. I do think Davey's winning the title. I just can't fathom Davey not winning the title on Saturday. If Davey's winning the title, that's a big freaking deal. And don't get me wrong. Generico unmasking or even Steen leaving Ring of Honor is just as big a deal. But I think the point... And people always say, back in 2005, Bryan Danielson beat James Gibson, and that wasn't the main event of the show for the title. Yes, I understand that. But by that, I think the Ring of Honor title has become a lot more prestigious in the past 4 years because of the people that have held it, what the title means to the company. And I do think with the HDNet show and everything, the championship belt is the highlight. And also, I mean, Ring of Honor's been smart about this. You guys have to think logically here. Look at the past few HDNet tapings. Davey Richards in the main event in almost every single one. Why would he be the main? Rarely would you see the main event of every show, of every Raw, the main event of every Raw for 5 weeks. That does not main event the pay-per-view. That never happens. Like freaking Sheamus and Randy Orton. That was not the main event program for either of their 2 pay-per-view matches at Hell in a Cell or SummerSlam. No, that was always top of the second hour feud, and they went into that, and then they didn't main event the Cena Nexus angle, which was the more important angle. So like I said, Davey Richards has been highly profiled on TV shows, so I do think he and Roddy are going to main event. Now, does this mean that Kevin Steen and Generico will main event? Fuck no. This is just simple clues on my behalf. This is just simple deductive reasoning from me. This match could main event, and I would be perfectly fine with it main eventing. But like I said, I do think the Ring of Honor World title, you can't really undermine it. I mean, you really have to treat it like it's a big, big deal. Now, if Roddy was winning, which I don't think he should, but if Roddy's winning the title, I would hate for this match to main event. This match has to be the semi-main event. But, like I said, I will be perfectly fine for either of the 2 main events. So Kevin Steen and Generico, the feud, the intensity, and this match you can be a real wrestling fan. I was thinking about this. Back when I was really young and The Undertaker was wrestling his matches, I would root for The Undertaker, and I would be so emotionally invested into the match. I would be so into every near fall, hoping the Undertaker doesn't kick out, hoping that Undertaker wins, that the other guy doesn't kick out. No, I had that emotional investment. You can bring that emotional investment into this match as well. If you could pick which one, because apparently it's loser leaves Ring of Honor in a way, even though it says if Generico loses, he just unmasked. I don't know if that means he stays in Ring of Honor or not. Whatever. If you have a favorite, you are literally, like, not even kayfabe, real life, you are rooting for one of them to not stay down. You're rooting for one of them to kick out. And then when the one you're rooting for is getting the pin, stay down. You know, like, you actually have emotional investment in this match. You can't say that. I haven't been able to say that for a wrestling match in God knows how long. I really, really, really badly want El Generico to win here. I love Kevin Steen. Kevin Steen has been the breakout shining star of Ring of Honor. And I do think if they find a way to get Kevin Steen to stay, he should be the next Ring of Honor World Champion after Davey Richards. And you're going to be like, you're saying all that and you want Kevin Steen to lose? I do want Kevin Steen to lose. Because El Generico, like I said, in my opinion, is the 3rd best wrestler in this company. And if you unmask El Generico, it puts a bad imprint on me on El Generico for a very long time. You know, like, that's his gimmick. El Generico. You can't just take off a mask. You can't do that. You can't just change his gimmick. It's not the same. It's El Generico. That's part of his charm. Like, Kevin Steen, I will always, like, you know, okay, fine. Maybe in 3 years he comes back to Ring of Honor, or I'll see him in PWG. I will see Kevin Steen, and I will still love Kevin Steen. If you have masked El Generico, even if he's masked in other promotions, I will just watch him. I'll be like, it's not the same. I've already seen him without the mask. You kind of lose an element there. It's not the same. So that's why I really do want El Generico to win. I mean, I can always love Kevin Steen in independent wrestling. I feel if El Generico gets unmasked, I can't retain that same love. So we'll see what happens. Both these guys have been banged up for a very long time. Jesus Christ, for almost 3 years. So I can easily see either one of them taking time off from wrestling. And I'll be sad. Whoever leaves, I will be very sad. That's what, like, Instant Clutching One was telling me. You know, it is a great stipulation, but you're sad. You're not happy with either outcome because one of your favorites has to go. And I'm not happy with either outcome either. I understand, you know, Kevin Steen leaves, that sucks. So, well, we'll see what happens. Roddy Davey, what more can be said? Davey Richards is the best wrestler in the world at this moment. Now, Bryan Danielson is my favorite wrestler in the world right now. But I do think just because Davey has the ability to wrestle on the indie style, on the indie level, he has more of a chances to put on great matches than Danielson does. He's doing the best he can with these WWE guys he has who wrestle a boring, stiff style. And Danielson is, you know, getting really good matches out of them, which I think is probably more a testament to talent than Davey Richards putting on great matches. But because Davey Richards is, you know, like every show he appears on, he puts on something special. He's kind of considered the best wrestler in the world. Danielson's my favorite wrestler of all time, though. And Davey, I think this match will be awesome. Davey's winning the title. If he doesn't, my God, will I be mad. You will see me in my review rant and yell out of anger, especially what happened last year at Final Battle. The fucking disaster that happened there. I mean, that doesn't really have to do with who went over, but like, if I don't understand, I still don't understand why they didn't just give the title there and now. Now, if the whole plan was to just build for 2 months for an even bigger payoff at 8th anniversary show, Final Battle's your WrestleMania, supposedly. Why not have the payoff here? All the settings was right to have the big blow-off at Final Battle. Why build it off for... That's like saying, let me not have the guy win the title after building him for years at the WrestleMania main event. Let me save that for SummerSlam. Why? You'll get more of a reaction here. I still don't understand why they didn't just give Tyler the title last year. Hey, whatever. But like, I really, there's no more perfect setting to win the title than the main event of your biggest show of the year. Don't save it for Death Before Dishonor, Supercard of Honor. No, there's never a better setting than the main event of your biggest show of the year. That's why I hate it when all companies do that. Main event, biggest show of the year, do it to Switch then, or else don't do it. And I definitely see Davey Richards winning the title here. I think Roddy was a transitional champion going in. I think he knew that. I think if Davey didn't go to Japan during Glory Honor weekend, and I think if he didn't announce it, I think if he and his wife divorced about 2 months earlier than they did, and he wasn't going to Japan, I think Davey would have beaten Tyler at Glory by Honor, and they would never have had their match at Tag Wars. They would have had their rematch at Glory by Honor. I think Davey would have won the title. But anyways, this show I think is going to be amazing. Like I said, even if you don't think that Davey, Roddy, or Kevin Steen Generico will be like a near 5-star match, both those matches are going to be awesome. I seriously think the Eddie Edwards Kenny Omega match is going to be awesome. I think Daniel's Homicide is going to be great. I think Cabana and Perkins is going to be really good. Colorado Adam Cole, really good. And the Grudge match, really, really good. And the women's match, I think, can be good. I'm just not getting my hopes up. You have 4 great matches, and everything else is really, really good. To me, that's better than Death Before Dishonor. And to me, that's one of the best shows in wrestling history. Because we never see that. So, anyways, I'm sorry about this really long video. I did not expect for it to go this long. I'm going to misput the title. I'm not going to put just Final Battle Preview. I'm going to put, like, Awesome Kong Rant, Eddie Edwards Praise. Like, I'll do shit like that. So, yeah, that's Final Battle. We'll see how it be. I personally think it's going to be awesome. And I'm not going to get my hopes up like, oh, my God, if this isn't awesome, I'll be depressed. Nah, if it's not great, I'll be depressed. Because if it's not great, I mean, good freaking God. You must have, with this card. So, with that said, all of you that are going to Final Battle, I know a lot of people on YouTube are going. I hope you all have a really fun time. The atmosphere there must be incredible. And for everybody else who's watching this video, if you've ordered Final Battle already, Go Fight Live, $14.95, great. If you haven't, why not? Seriously, I want you to write in the comment box why you are not ordering this pay-per-view with a good reason. Do not just tell me, oh, because you guys are forcing it down my throats. That's your excuse. That's you not want to try something and you're blaming us. If you don't want to buy it because I don't have the money, this doesn't interest me, you know, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do this now. Just give me a reason. A lot of people don't give reasons. And please don't say you're forcing it down my throat. Then, that's a video for that time. Big Red 210. I'm out, guys. See ya.